Palestinian leaders predict they're going to score a historic win tomorrow when the United Nations votes on whether to recognize a Palestinian state. Analysts say they expect the vote to pass and by a big majority, but it would grant Palestine only limited statehood. And the United States, Israel, and others are against the effort, largely because it could give Palestinians new leverage on the world stage against the government in Israel. The Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas has said he will not negotiate with Israel as long as it keeps expanding settlements in the West Bank. And the Israeli Prime Minister has refused to freeze that construction. The Fox Sports chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt is at the United Nations tonight. Jonathan, explain the U.S. objection here.
Well, it boils down, Shep, to the very simple argument that U.S. officials believe that this will hinder rather than help the peace process between the Israelis and Palestinians, that it will enable and encourage the Palestinians to pursue war crimes charges in other international institutions, such as the International Criminal Court, against Israeli officials over the actions that they have taken recently and in past years in Gaza. In the words of Secretary of State Hillary Clinton today, it is simply not helpful. Listen.
The path to a two-state solution that fulfills the aspirations of the Palestinian people is through Jerusalem and Ramallah, not New York. We oppose Palestinian efforts to upgrade their status at the UN outside of the framework of negotiations.
Secretary of State Clinton and other U.S. officials have repeatedly made that argument to their Palestinian counterparts. It's fallen on deaf ears. The vote will go ahead tomorrow, Shep.
Of course, the Palestinians and much of the rest of the world makes a different argument.
Yeah, what they argue, the Palestinians, and what has persuaded a lot of Western nations, including Security Council members France, China and Russia, is the idea that by pursuing this vote and giving the Palestinians this kind of recognition, they will strengthen the hand of the moderate Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas against the more militant Hamas, which saw its popularity rise in the wake of that recent conflict in Gaza. The Palestinian officials, for their parts, meantime, say they are not looking for a fight here. They are simply trying to advance the cause of peace. Listen.
We're not here to confront you, the Americans, or to isolate Israel. We're here to reinstate the two-state solution on 1967 lines, and this we will do, and we will vote upon it tomorrow afternoon.
And that vote will take place around 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow afternoon on what the UN named several years ago International Palestinian Solidarity Day. Shep.
Jonathan Hunt at the United Nations.